A jaded Prince Harry gave Meghan Markle a rambunctious crash course in royal life when she first joined the family, according to a royal expert. During the couple's bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey earlier this year, Meghan admitted that she knew nothing about the royal family growing up and said she didn't know what it meant to be a working royal. According to Andrew Morton, the author of her unauthorized biography Meghan, a Hollywood princess, the Duke of Sussex had to teach her everything, but he himself had long been disillusioned with royal life. The Duchess spent less than 2 years as a working royal before the couple stepped back from royal duties in early 2020. Appearing on ITV's This Morning, Morton said, as she said herself, she didn't read the tabloids, she didn't watch TMZ. She learned what she learned about the royal family from Harry. Harry himself was quite jaded with the royal family even before this, so she's had a very rambunctious education into the royal world. She has had members of the household give her advice, and she's a quick study, but even so, I think it takes many years for someone to accommodate themselves into the royal family, and these two didn't give it very long at all. Later this month, an updated version of Meghan, a Hollywood princess, is being released with 6 new chapters. Among the new claims in the updated book, Morton alleges that Meghan and Harry thought a picture of the Queen and her 3 heirs Prince Charles, Prince William and Prince George was unspoken code about their royal future. He adds that the Sussexes suspected the entire institution was conspiring against them. When it comes to Meghan's relationship with Kate Middleton, it is claimed that the Duchess of Cambridge didn't have much energy to get to know Meghan before she married Harry, as she was going through a difficult pregnancy with Prince Louis. Morton also says that, despite the much-discussed row between the two women at a bridesmaid dress fitting, Meghan bought Kate a bracelet to thank her help with the wedding. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex recently made their first joint public appearance since the birth of their daughter, Lilibet. They took to the stage a Global Citizens 24-hour TV marathon in New York, championing COVID-19 vaccine equality. It is a message they have tried to hammer home in months past, having appeared in a separate Global Citizen event earlier this year making the same point. Speaking from the Great Lawn in Central Park, Harry said, "Are we prepared to do what is necessary to end this pandemic?" Before Meghan added, "There is so much that we can do today, now that can get us closer to ending this pandemic, and that's why we're all here." The speech is characteristic of the direction they have attempted to move in since leaving the royal family last year. While part of the firm, Meghan used her royal status to promote several charitable causes, positively impacting the lives of countless people. Many find it difficult to comprehend how much Meghan achieved in such a short time with the family. It is something that Daniela Elzer, a commentator who regularly writes about the royal family, briefly explored in a recent piece for the New Zealand Herald entitled, "Why Prince Harry's Wish for Meghan and Kate to Get Along Was Doomed." She wrote about the differences and similarities between Meghan and Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, in light of the re-release of Andrew Morton's 2018 book, Meghan, An American Princess. Ms. Elzer noted how Mr. Morton made clear that, from the get-go, Kate and Meghan's relationship was never going to be one of late-night, vino-fueled bonding sessions or giggling over in-jokes behind Princess Anne's serge-clad back during Trooping the Colour. Claiming that Harry's hopes of Meghan and Kate becoming the Brady Bunch were likely doomed from the start, she wrote, "Was Harry's desperation for the women to bond nothing more than wishful thinking? Aside from both having been wooed by a prince, Meghan and Kate were from different countries, religions, and economic backgrounds. While Meghan entered the palace a self-made millionaire, Kate had never had a full-time job. While the former had been married and divorced, the latter had been in a long-term relationship with William for the better part of 2 decades. While the Brit had found her way in the firm, inch by careful inch, the American arrived champing at the bit." As Ms. Elzer said, Meghan and Kate came into the royal family from completely different angles. Kate already had nearly a decade of experience under her belt before marrying Prince William in 2011, the pair having met while studying at St. Andrews University in 2001. Meghan, meanwhile, spent much of the '90s navigating Hollywood. The two couldn't have lived different lives. Meghan and Harry met on a blind date in 2016 and were married just 2 years later, the actress having had little time to acclimatize to life as a royal. But, during their engagement interview with the BBC in 2017, the Duke revealed he had given her warnings over what to expect. He spoke of how he had told Meghan, and was due to tell her more, about the difficulties of royal life, warning her about what she was getting herself into. He said, "I tried to warn you, Meghan, as much as possible, but I think both of us were totally surprised by the reaction after the first 5-6 months we had to ourselves. You can have as many conversations as you want and try and prepare as much as possible, but we were totally unprepared for what happened after that." He later added, "Of course, that sense of responsibility was essentially from day one, or maybe a couple of months in, When I started to realize actually I know that I am in love with this girl and I hope that she is in love with me, but we still have to sit down on the sofa. You know, I still have to have some pretty frank conversations with her to say what you are letting yourself in for. It's a big deal. It's not easy for anybody. But I know at the end of the day, she chooses me and I choose her, and therefore whatever we have to tackle together or individually, it will always be us together as a team.